Welcome back to another edition of the SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Energy Gum, a fast-acting alternative to energy drinks, 5 times faster without filling up on liquids. I'm Jeremy Elliott. I'm joined by birthday boy Ryan Hand. How old are you now? 25?
Yeah. Add 19.
I'm hoping to get some picks back or some kind of positions back.
There's no birthday gifts for you.
No. Yeah, should you be the one getting gifts?
Right. I got one last week. You bitched about it all week.
What's that?
When you took Reitzel.
Look, we're going to go into that.
Get a special stat for that.
Yeah, which is going to be coming probably on another show at some point. But yeah, I really got screwed on the Reitzel thing. That was an early girl.
I see you've gotten screwed so bad that we were actually going to pick 4 USAC shows this week.
Hey, it's SmackDown week, so plenty of picking to go on.
SmackDown year.
Yeah, no kidding. We're going to jump in with our storylines of the week, and I think one of the ones that is at the top of the list is Donnie Schatz wins at River Cities. Brad Sweet finishes 13th, and now that point chase, Donnie Schatz is up by 24 points, heading out through to the West Coast. They're going to be in, I believe, Montana this week, Big Sky and Black Hills. Then they'll go to Skagit the following week and then head down into California. But Donnie Schatz, is this where he takes over?
It appears to be that way. The scariest part about the whole night was that, like, Brad was second at one point in the feature. And I think he dropped back to 13th and was actually a lap down.
I think it's some motor issues.
What's that?
I think he had some motor issues.
Oh, okay. So there was actually...
I think there was, yeah.
It's nice when you run that badly, it's nice to be able to find a culprit.
Yes.
You know, like you actually know, you can put a finger on it and go, okay, that was a bad night, but at least we know what to fix. So that would be good.
We got the fly back again.
The fly is back. He's going to get hammered.
I mean, this is, I don't know. We just can't get rid of it. I think it's the same one probably.
It probably is.
But, yeah, this was Donnie Schatz's house.
Oh, he was... After I watched it, the beginning of the red came out or something, and after the red, he just destroyed him.
Yeah, it was over.
It was over.
And I think they're probably lucky, or other people are lucky. They got rained out at Red River Valley the next night. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a place he's done well at before as well.
Home.
Oh, yeah, a little home cooking. But I think we got to discuss it. One of the big things that came out of that night was the fence issue where Brendan Mullen flipped on top of a catch fence off the backstretch and landed on a pole and sat there.
Yeah, it was almost amazing. I looked at the pictures and I'm like, how is there no other damage? The front wing was fine, the top wing was fine. I'm like,
probably could have raced.
Honestly, if they could have set her down right there, he maybe could have raced. I don't know if I would have wanted to, but
no, not if I'm up that high. But
yeah, I mean the thing was like, it looked like it was almost caught on the safety cage, like the safety cage that bulges out of the left side. It looks like it was just sitting on that, and that's what was holding it. And I was like, wow, it's amazing that it went to that point and stayed there.
The other amazing thing is they continued to race, and we're not going to go. Yeah, we're not going to go too much into safety this week because we beat it last week. But it
doesn't seem to make a difference when we beat it or not.
No, I don't. There's a story on SprintCarUnlimited.com today, which we're shooting a show on Monday. Some drivers commented. Tom Deary from the Outlaws commented. They thought it was secure, so they finished the race the last 24 laps. A couple of the drivers said, "Yeah, that's really sketchy." Darren Pittman didn't even know it was up there. Never knew it till 30 minutes. What happened? He was running in the top 5. He drove past it and stopped.
Okay.
So when he got going again, he just never looked out.
Yeah, it would have been hard to see out the right side.
Yeah, because you had the wing there and everything.
Yeah.
So
probably better off that he didn't know it was there if they were leaving it there.
Yeah, he said he walked out of his trailer 30 minutes after the race, looked up, and it was there, and he was like, what the hell? What the hell happened? So obviously then he gave some comments about, that's really sketchy. And even though it's secure, this is where I come out on this. Another car could have got back there, hit the bottom of the fence. It drops down. Here's the other thing. Underneath it, on the other side, is there a freshman stand at propane in there.
But like my thing is, if he was hung on the backstretch cat's fence, like along the back straightaway, would you just say, well, it's secure, we're going to keep racing for the night?
Yeah, no.
Seriously.
Well, now they have space, But that's not the point. They got back there once. They can get back there again.
I watched the removal of it, and it took literally less than 2 minutes. The video of the removal took less than 2 minutes. They brought a lull in. They put 2 straps around the back of the roll cage. They picked it up and they put it back down without damaging it further. And I'm like, well, that didn't take that long.
Well, I think it took a couple hours though to get the lull there.
Well, then
you wait.
Yeah, you wait.
You know, because
crazy.
I'm going to say this as plain: is a life worth 2 hours?
No.
You know,
Not even close.
I think you wait the 2 hours.
Yeah.
Or something. I just don't think you can do that. It's just something I wouldn't have done. And in this era of safety, I thought that was a real bad call. And it shows to me that I just don't know if we're ever going to get it. It just seems, it's 1 step forward, 3 steps back. And it seems like we only care about it. And you can speak to that because you're
very disappointing. Honestly, it's very disappointing. Like, we talk about things in there and it seems like not everything gets done or even started that we talk about. So the only thing that has gotten done is the race cars had to put all these bars in and it's only cost the car owners money, but no one else has to, play by the rules. So I don't get it all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't envy you being in those safety council meetings. How that doesn't come up at the next one, I don't know. But enough about safety for now. Aaron Reitzel. What a weekend. Leading at I-96, car spins in front of him. And he slows up, goes to veer around it. Gio gets into the back of him and goes to the work area. Doesn't come out. And Corey Eliason ends up winning what I would call wild aiming. People just didn't want to win that race.
No.
Next night at Plymouth, Aaron Reitzel wins. But he's still 10 points behind Dale Blaney in the points with the All-Stars because Dale finished 2nd and 8th. Mm-hmm. We got a points battle that we're going to bring to Central PA this week because the All-Stars have 4 races here. Here's why I'm angry. I had Reitzel leading on Friday night, and you had Blaney. Of course, Aaron Reitzel drops out. Who did you have Saturday? Go ahead, say it. You can say
Aaron Reitzel.
You had Aaron Reitzel.
I knew he was going to win that night.
Well, yeah. This is what happens. So we're going to have a stat coming up in the coming weeks. Jovan Schultz is going to put it together. He came up with it. What the average finishing position is when I take Aaron Reitzel as opposed to when you take him. And how many?
I'm thinking it's like 13th or worse. So when I take him, I think it's like 3rd or better.
Yeah, and we're gonna see how many spots I've lost and you've gained.
It's a lot.
I'm down 150 spots now. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Mm-hmm. No, I think the All-Star points is something to look forward to. I think the car Dale's driving, the 11 car, is pretty good right now. I mean, we saw Hunter Schoenberg drove it at I-55 and was fast there, and drove it at Knoxville, and it was really good there. They maybe didn't have the results that they deserved to have, but the car looks pretty good, and Dale's not gonna make huge mistakes in the car, so he's gonna probably finish. If the car finishes, he's gonna finish. So I think Aaron's in for a run to the end here, probably.
Well, especially since, again, finishing.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Aaron, Dale's going to finish. Mm-hmm. And by the way, in here, he is pretty good at Grandview. He's won there.
Mm-hmm.
Lincoln, I think it's probably a crapshoot. Although Aaron Reitzel ran well there. I believe it's Speed Week. He ran well there. And then they go with the Grove.
The Grove.
That's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
And then you have BAPS, which Aaron's pretty good at BAPS.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how this all shakes out this week. And it'll be interesting to see if you take Aaron Reitzel all 4 nights.
I was warned that there are other picks this week.
Are you getting text messages now?
I've been getting some help.
Wondering?
I always get some help.
Okay. That's good.
I got friends.
I have friends, but they don't help me.
No.
So we're going to stay on the road. Justin Sanders wins the Johnny Key Classic out at Ocean Speedway. That was the big race in California. I find this amusing because I looked at the field and, who was in it. I was told out at Knoxville by someone close to California racing that Justin doesn't win when a lot of people are there. A lot of good cars are there.
There are some good cars there by the looks of this.
Yeah, Colby Copeland, Shane Golobic, Rico Abreu, Bud Kading, who's been real good at Ocean, DJ Neto, your KWS point leader, Sean Becker, Ryan Burnell, who's second in points. The only two guys that weren't there were Gio and Dominic Scelzi.
Mm-hmm.
Justin now leads the state in wins with 9.
Yeah, he's right up there in the nation wins, honestly.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out who doesn't he beat.
He beats whoever shows up.
Yeah, and that's...
It's not his fault that the other guys don't show up.
And it really...
What can he do?
And most of the time they show up. I mean,
Yeah.
Andy Forsberg wasn't there, but I don't think Andy goes to Ocean much.
Yeah.
But it's 3 guys. I mean, you still had guys there to... I mean, Bud Kading's been really good at Ocean, and Justin, bunch of second place finishes there.
To Bud.
Yeah, to Bud.
Mostly to Bud, yeah.
So I think maybe Justin not winning when everybody's in town's overblown.
Yeah, no,
I think he has the best winning percentage in California.
I would have to believe.
So the Attica Fremont Championship Series is getting tight. There's only one race left. It's September 6th. The points: DJ Foose leads Buddy Kofoid by 3 points. $10,000 to the winner. Cap Henry is third with 34 points. Buddy just got it this week. Really, nothing changed as far as, but they only have one race left.
So, where is that race at? You know,
Fremont.
It's at Fremont,
September 6th. Now they have a couple weeks, and they also have the Brad Doty Classic, which is coming up in a couple weeks, and that's a big deal. That'll feature the All-Stars. So, again, we just wanted to touch on that Attica Fremont Championship Series. This is the inaugural season of it.
$10,000 is good. That's a good purse.
That's some good coin for the winner.
Absolutely.
I'd
say they're going to be gunning for that.
Oh, yeah. It'll be interesting to see how that pans out. Buddy Kofoid slipped a little bit. It's having some bad luck, a couple spins and whatnot. It's able to come
Is he close to the 10? You?
No, he's at 3.
No.
Had some bad luck.
You jinxed him.
I've jinxed a lot of people, including myself this week. So we're going to bring it back to Central PA. Corey Haas, and we're going to talk to John Trone in segment 2, the owner of Corey Haas's car. Corey Haas wins 2 of 3 this weekend, wins at Williams Grove, flipped at Lincoln, no. He made a mistake, got into Landon Myers. He admitted that. And then he came back Sunday at Trailway and wins a rain-shortened event in which Danny Dietrich was 0.2 behind him, which, by the way, I had Danny Dietrich.
I didn't have Corey.
No, but
I had
that's not the point. I could.
I know where you're getting at. I know where you're getting at. Thank you, Corey.
Thank you, Rain.
Thank you, Flagman.
But it was. Were you throwing the flag?
I might have been in there. I might have been up there.
Up with Galen Kohler.
Yeah.
But no. So Corey Haas, 2 wins this weekend. The one was race shortened, but he looked good.
Dude, Williams Grove heat race, he was phenomenal. Like he looked,
and he had to win the heat to get to start on the front row.
Yeah, like he passed cars and just, I mean, he left him sitting. He looked really good in the heat. Feature, he did a really good job in the feature. Late, Ryan was kind of hanging with him. Ryan Smith was hanging with him. But the last 2 or 3 laps, he did exactly what he needed to do. He just basically blocked a flyer in 3 and 4, and it was over because Dantry was pretty far down because the late models were there and stuff. But he did a really good job. They had a pretty nice car. They really did. And Lincoln, I thought he was pretty fast at Lincoln too.
Yeah, just made a mistake.
Yeah, there was a mistake. And honestly, it was. I watched it and I said, man, they shouldn't even been racing for the lead because 1 and 2 goes to the dash for the first 6 spots. I'm like, don't race for the lead in the heat. This is a heat race that doesn't pay anything, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the winner on Saturday night was Danny Dietrich. It's win number 13 overall. He looked kind of racy this weekend.
He looked really good at Lincoln because no one else could do anything. It was kind of a, I don't want to say it was almost like a blah feature. Like it rubbered up in 1 and 2, probably 10 to 15 laps in, where you just basically drove it in on the bottom and it would kind of stick in the rubber. And 3 and 4 was mostly around the top, so it was just not as entertaining as I was hoping.
Well,
but Danny, to his credit, started 7th and passed 6 cars. So, can't take that away from him for sure.
No, you can't. And Danny also, looked good at Trailway. Looked good at the Grove.
Yeah, no, he passed a lot of cars at the Grove.
Passed a lot of cars.
Because he actually knocked his nose wing off at the start of the heat at the Grove.
Right.
And I think he finished 5th or 6th, so that put him 12th or 10th or something in the starting field.
Came up to 5th.
And yeah, looked good. Now he's he's the best car in PA right now.
Yes, and I think
Hands
he's going to be one of the guys to watch this weekend, obviously. Yep. So, and then at Port Royal, it was Logan Wagner getting his 5th win. Still good at Port.
Ryan Taylor looked really good. Gave him a challenge. That was one of Ryan's better runs. AJ Flick, maybe. I mean, he
looks good at Port.
He looks very good. Like I think he's maybe opening up another chapter of his career here. Like, he's winning a lot of races in Western PA, which he should do when he comes in here to PA, and he's very competitive in PA right now. Like week in and week out at Port Royal, he's pretty darn competitive. So it's pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, Jared Esch, I think, was in the top 5 as well. And Jared is
a really good race car right now.
Confident.
Yes, he's done a good job.
I think confidence is the big key there. And
absolutely.
I think he's shown it. That's going to wrap up segment 1, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Energy Gum. We'll be back in segment 2 with John Trone. Stay tuned. Welcome back to segment 2, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Energy Gum. Joining us on the phone is John Trone, who had a good weekend along with his driver Corey Haas, wins 2 out of 3. John, how you doing?
Good. Jeremy, how you doing tonight?
Not too bad. We got past some of our technical issues. I think we broke the camera, but other than that, we're doing well. So we won't keep you too long. I know you're out and about, but what did you say to Corey to get him moving and two wins in one weekend? What did you guys find in that car?
I don't know. I think they just did a little here and did a little there and found something that seemed to work better for him.
The car looked fantastic pretty much all weekend. I know he had a hiccup there at Lincoln, but I'm telling you, at the Grove, that was. I told you that night. That was one of the better cars I've seen at the Grove all year.
Yeah, well, we ran that car at the Grove, and then we ran the other car at Lincoln. But the engine in the Grove car, that thing runs.
Yeah.
Our other one, we're just having a little bit of issue with it. We're just going to try to fine-tune it a little better.
Well, talking to you last night, when's the last time you had 2 wins in a weekend?
I was thinking about that, and I looked on the back of the Greg Hodnett 39 T-shirts that they're selling now, and I found it was 2011.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So it was a pretty nice weekend for me, having to be on my birthday and everything. So I was real happy. Saturday night wasn't so good, but we 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
2 out of 3 ain't bad, no, and you can't ask for much more on your birthday too.
No, and Corey picked up it looked like he picked a wick up here, I don't know, the last couple of races, so I think everything's just meshing a little better right now.
What do you think's maybe changed when you say about meshing better now? Is it, we hear so much, Lucas Wolf's talked about this, it's pill draw. I mean, so many things have to go well during the night. Is it a case, because Corey even said when I interviewed him last night, things are just going better. They made some changes, but the pill draw's been better. Position on the track's better. Is this really show how sprint car racing, everything has to go right during a night?
Well, part of it, but I think part of it was giving him more confidence. And, when you start up front, you usually hopefully finish up front. It's just harder to pass cars. And, I mean, look at how many times the winners come off the front row. It's quite awesome.
John, you were out of racing a little bit in the past because you weren't feeling well and stuff, and I believe we've spoke about your health and stuff. Can you explain to everybody how your health is doing? And you look fantastic at the racetrack when you're around now, and obviously much healthier.
Yeah, I've got congestive heart failure, but I'm doing good. I mean, it's the doctors got me on the right road. And, I feel good. I'm exercising, and I still could lose another 20 pounds or so.
Couldn't we all?
Couldn't we? Yeah, come on.
Other than that mitten section, I'm doing pretty good.
How about enjoying the races? I mean, last year was a tough year for all of us, obviously, who knew Greg, and you had a lot of family stuff as well. I mean, you never get past. I mean, you never forget that stuff. But are you getting to the point where you enjoy racing again?
Well, it's after a weekend like this weekend, yeah, it's a lot more now. It's just you get in that the racing's up and down. Sometimes you win, and most of the time you don't. And you just have to get used to it. And I know, Mike and I talk once in a while, and it's like it's a lot more fun going when your car finishes up front than it is when it finishes in the second five. You know what I mean? So I think that's all part of the game. That's why it's so competitive.
Now, you've had a lot of different drivers, and you've seen this sport evolve. And I know you were saying earlier about, a lot of guys winning off the front row. Do you like where sprint car racing is right now as far as the parity and whatnot? I mean, you've had so many good drivers. You've seen it kind of progress here. As an owner, what are your thoughts on where it's at right now?
I'd like to see more open rules and that you could make some changes and everybody buying the same thing on the shelf.
When you say do you mean like tires and?
Well, it'd be nice if you could, if you could run. Well, there aren't good years anymore, but if you could have had a choice of running 2 or 3 tires rather than being you have to run the track tire. But I think the guys, when they voted, the worst thing is for our guys in low budget teams as far as tires. That's a big part of the budget in racing, and they need to try to get a handle on that because these guys want to run 3 and 4 tires a night. Why not take the All-Star rule and run the same regular tire all night? I think that's the best way to go.
You're not the only one saying that. I've heard that multiple times in the pit area about. Why do you think that doesn't happen here?
I don't know, because they put it to a vote, and the guys apparently all voted to run as many as you want. I just don't understand it, but we get 18 cars and 16 cars because the guys can't afford to race. Yeah. So why would they want to run more than 1 tire a night? It makes no sense to me.
If I recall correctly, I think at one point at Williams Grove we did run 1 tire a night, and then people started kind of complaining because it made the low buck guy have to buy a new tire each night to compete, and they weren't into that. But I truly agree with you, John. The 1 tire a night seems a very good idea, considering the car count at Williams Grove. I can't remember a year where 2 heat races at Williams Grove is almost it's disheartening.
Normal.
Yeah. It's bad. It's hard to watch.
Well, Friday night we ran a used left rear tire in the feature and seemed to be fine. So, but that's a left rear, not a right rear.
Right. No, but I mean, it's just 2 heats at Williams Grove makes it very difficult because you're only splitting the field in half instead of in thirds or in quarters, and
absolutely,
and it just makes it very difficult to get through your heats.
Well, I think it also doesn't widen the track up.
Yeah, no, there's not nearly as much racing.
I mean, so now,
yeah, absolutely. It stays heavy all night, and when you have 2 heats, no conference.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, John, with Corey, how much you said about confidence earlier? You got a big weekend coming up. You got the All-Star Circuit of Champions rolling in. It's more money. Is this the right time? I mean, other than when the Outlaws rolling, you got to be pleased going into the All-Star races and then really the Pennsylvania month of money as well.
Yeah, we're looking forward to what's coming up. Hopefully, like I said, this engine really runs. If we can get that other one a little better, I think that would be good for our program. And we'll just do the best we can. But I'm looking forward to this weekend. It's always good when the All-Stars come now.
From the standpoint of, you guys have kind of been picking and choosing on Saturday nights more this year. What led to you guys moving around more and maybe, I guess, even taking a weekend off here and there?
Well, I think a lot of big money races are later in the year. Well, actually all year. So it's like that's what we, not just late in the year. So I thought Corey never ran anywhere but Lincoln pretty much Saturday nights of his life. And he does good at the Grove. He drives the Grove real well, but I thought overall we just need more laps. So that was the reasoning behind that. We weren't going to run for points Saturday night, and we were going to. I have a relationship with Fort Wall. I have one with Lincoln, and they're both pretty good, I think. And I do business with both tracks, so I wanted to sort of split it up a little.
So what's the plan moving forward? I mean, obviously, you picked and choose this year a little bit. Now, next year, do you kind of, I mean, are you going to remain full-time? I know you always talk about whether you're going to do part-time, full-time, or what's your status? How are you looking at this now?
As long as my health stays good and I keep operate the business, I'll probably keep racing. But when I retire, I'll probably stop racing, I figure.
You'll be done.
Yeah.
Or it's in your blood and you'll never get out of it.
Well, we'll see, I guess, right?
Yeah. I mean, do you now when you say, I mean, is there do you have a set frame or is it all based on your health?
No, it's pretty much based on my health. But I mean, I plan on racing for a while. I'm not ready to give it up yet.
Well, good deal. Hey, I know you're heading to dinner. You're down at the beach. Enjoy yourself. We'll see you this weekend, and thank you for taking time out to come on the show.
Thanks a lot. I can't wait for these baked oysters with crab meat. They sound great.
All right, you take care.
Be careful.
All right, guys.
Be careful blowing out those candles.
I'm riding in the back seat, so I'm doing okay, I think.
All right, take care.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Yep, bye-bye. .com podcast presented by Wicked Energy Gum. Ryan, John, busy man. Left last night, went to the beach, celebrated a win.
It sounds busy. I would like to be at the beach to celebrate my birthday and a win.
Yeah, you're stuck here with me.
I'm stuck with you. Yeah.
I don't know.
John's a great guy. He's been he really. I think what people don't understand is he supports racing with his race car, but his business also supports a lot of the racetracks. So I think racing would be lost without John Trone around here for sure.
No doubt. He's fielded some cars driven by Greg Hodnett, Doug Esch, and Keith Kaufman at one time.
Stutz drove one for a while.
Corey Haas.
Yeah.
I mean, the list is long.
Great guy.
So this is going to be like our potpourri segment, so to speak. Just a mixed bag of things that happened last week. Much of it was on the website. Obviously, Tim Schaefer was the bombshell that started it all. He was let go from Demian Rudzik Racing, and now some decisions to make. Who goes in the car? Do they even continue? Where's Tim go? I mean, obviously it was such a surprise that this was happening. And what are your thoughts on? Honestly, they won some big races together.
Yeah, I was pretty much completely shocked. I didn't see it coming. Now, I also didn't talk to Tim at Knoxville. I didn't really see him. Normally, He parked close to where I'm usually at, but I did not see Tim at Knoxville. And they had a good. I mean, they put it in fourth in points, and sometimes you don't race the way you want to, but hey, stuff happens. It's a performance-based deal, and I think making Knoxville a main is pretty stout, but obviously there's things going on there, and I don't know. I mean, it's a shocker to me. Tim's a great driver.
Yeah, should be in the Hall of Fame.
Should have been in the Hall of Fame 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When he turned 50, he should have been in the Hall of Fame.
Agreed.
I mean, he's won what hasn't. I mean, literally, there's only a few races he hasn't won. He's won point championships. He's dominated the All-Stars for years, and I mean, the guy's good.
Yeah, he won the Sprint Car World Championship, Dirt Classic. He won the World of Outlaw race a couple weeks ago at Williams Grove. And
you want to talk about a guy that didn't come from the Golden Spoon per se.
Yeah, no.
Him and his mom, really. His mom's a great lady. They work their ass off to get to where they are.
Yeah, so I mean, now it becomes where's Tim go? I don't know. I would not want to be looking for a ride in this climate.
No,
because I just don't think there's a lot of cars out there. And with silly season starting early, obviously.
Yeah.
And from the 49 standpoint, I know that the phone, talking to Joe Demian, the owner, his phone's been ringing off the hook. And that's because there aren't a lot of rides out there. So and all of them, everyone that called had a ride already.
And I'm sure his phone's ringing, but I think it's very difficult to replace a driver of the caliber of Tim Schaefer.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's won a lot of big shows. He's, experience. And Looks like Cody Jacobs won't be in the mix either. And I think right now it's harder to find a good crew chief than it is to find a driver. So that's an issue. Now, if Cody Jacobs is staying with Tim, that's something good to have for a team. That's a selling point.
Yeah.
Schaefer's not bringing money to the deal. And
honestly, in some cases it is, in some cases it's not, because some owners or that are more hands-on, they want to control their own deal. But I think it can be a plus and it can be a minus. But
because Schaefer don't bring money.
No, he ain't gonna bring. He's bringing his helmet bag, which is all he needs to bring.
Yeah, which we're going to talk about the money aspect.
Cody's a really good mechanic.
I agree.
Very good.
The other news, which we reported on the website, CJB Motorsports and Big Game Motorsports are trying to get under the same umbrella. Obviously, they share some sponsorship deals, with Todd Queering. Talking to Barry Jackson last week, Barry's coming back to PA, on his way as we speak, if he's not here already.
Oh.
And Kerry Madsen's going to come in here and race with Barry from September 5th through most of the big shows.
Be a good addition to the PA crowd.
Will be a very interesting one, I think. And because I think for Kerry, Barry knows these tracks.
Yes.
So I think that helps Kerry, because Kerry's not really been good.
No, he's not
Central PA.
He's not great in here, but I think I'm pretty sure Barry will have the stuff pretty right. So
I think so. Yeah. Now, Shane Stewart will be on the road in the 5 car. Lee Lundgren, California crew chief. We all know him. He's with the Tri-C car. Mm-hmm. He even spent some time with Joe Von Schultz this year. A couple races.
He actually when Tyler ran the Keen car, he was in here and helped him quite a bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Lee knows his way around a car.
Another good wrench. Yeah.
Yep. He's going to be doing 10 races through the California West Coast swing with Shane Stewart.
I'll tell you what, that could be interesting, because Lee knows those tracks, and Shane's pretty good out there.
He is.
So that could be an interesting situation there.
So the team's going to meet up at Eldora, I guess it was the 27th, 28th of September, park next to each other. Now, what happens moving forward is kind of where it gets a little muddy, because there's been no announcement yet. Obviously stuff off the record, but that's beside the point. What happens next year? Barry, they're putting everything together. Barry's running the show. He's managing the CJB end of this deal. And the goal is to get everything under the umbrella next year. Maybe 1 car, maybe 2. There's a chance there's a World of Outlaw car and a car that goes 40, 50 races. And I don't think I think they're open, as far as I don't think there's anybody's locked into the deal in the seat yet. So, but it may only just be a World of Outlaws car. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of like the 2 car would be from the Muddy car.
Right.
They were not great this year. They went to Knoxville. I think they won 1 race at Knoxville this year.
Right.
Actually, one of the best races that they ran was the Friday night show there, the Hard Knocks. That's the best he's looked all year. No offense to anybody that works on the car or whatever, but
no. When Guy Forbrook, we talked to Guy earlier. They parted ways in April, I believe.
Yeah.
And since then, just couldn't get going. And I think piggybacking, Shane Stewart and company haven't gotten going either.
Not really. No. So maybe it'll be a change in some scenery. Might not be a bad thing.
No. Apparently at Knoxville, Todd Queering, Chad Clemens, Barry Jackson, and Luke Lunt all got together. And then they got together again after Knoxville. They were just going to shake it up because, hey, it's performance-based, and neither team was performing, and Barry said it's not good enough. So now it becomes, okay, what happens next?
Yeah.
And
we'll see how it all plays out, too.
Well, and I think, and this kind of takes us into our final topic in segment 3, which is bringing money to an organization. This is what the sport, everybody thinks, they call it rent a ride. Okay. Everybody thinks that this is new. This isn't new. Before it was, you brought motors. Mm-hmm. Now you're bringing cash. That's same difference.
Or a sponsor, your own sponsor.
Yeah.
But essentially it's money or equipment in the end.
Yeah, this is not a new practice. What do you? I mean, you've been in this sport a long time. How do you feel about that?
Well, the sport's come. I don't know if I want to say a long way, but it's come a different way. I think back in the day, it was a little more affordable for a businessman to run a race team. Now it's escalated quite a bit. The purses aren't tremendously. The purses didn't follow the escalation in price tags on everything else.
Right.
So I think it's just. I mean, look at NASCAR. NASCAR, you used to get the best drivers and put them in the best cars, and they won races like Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart back in the day. And, they were the best guys to come out of USAC. They didn't have to bring money to get in a car, and they still kicked everybody's ass. Nowadays, you can't get in a NASCAR without bringing money. I mean, Christopher Bell is ready for NASCAR, and Joe Gibbs and Toyota don't. I mean, obviously now I think they have a place for him, but
yeah.
I mean,
I think they're going to make a place for him.
Look, when it's that big of a struggle for a guy like Christopher Bell to get into NASCAR, I think the World of Outlaws situation, the sprint car situation, is kind of following a little bit of suit of the NASCAR with the whatever you want to call it, rent-a-rides, bring sponsors, bring money, bring whatever.
Well, and what's bad about it, what I don't like, is a guy who's, if you have two drivers, you could have a driver who's up here and a driver's here, and this guy can bring 300,000 or 500,000 or whatever the number is. If it's a local team less, he's getting the ride. I don't like it.
No.
I mean, I always believe performance-based, you earn your... Well, like we talked about Tim Schafer.
Yeah.
Tim Schafer's earned a spot in where he is in sprint car racing as far as his talent. So,
I mean, I think guys also, the younger guys to get through, to get a break, because in some situations the family can't afford to, maybe go out in the all-star deal or on the outlaw deal. So you have to kind of form an alliance with someone and do it, whether it's, hey, I'll bring motors or I'll bring my sponsor or whatever, to get out in the road. But, the days of the car owners, the Bob Weicherts, the Al Hamiltons, they're not here. They're gone. The Outlaws are the only place they really are anymore. There's few family-owned teams on the outlaw deal. It's still businessmen with a lot of money that are owning teams there.
And I think
not the case here.
Right. And well, I even think it's, at the local level, I know in Central PA, even which I hate the word low buck kind of, because
nobody's low. If you have a sprint car, you got money.
You're not low buck.
Yeah.
But you see it in your like second or third tier. They're looking for stuff too, and they swap drivers based on what guys can bring. It's just not high profile. I just think it happens on every level in the tiers. Where it hurts is who's moving up a tier.
Yeah.
I'll use an example, and everybody go, of course, Buddy Kofoid. I worry that, obviously he probably wants to be running World of Outlaws. I don't know if he gets shot.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't bring a ton of money. So, another guy might get a shot, and he's not near as good. Or he doesn't have the results. That's the bummer of the whole thing.
Sometimes clearly pure talent doesn't get picked over money.
No.
But it is, I guess it is a business.
Well, yeah. So I think we'll probably leave it at that. Well, and it is. And let's face it, if a team can't be on the road or run locally, can't survive, they're going to look for somebody with money who's going to help them survive. And I just think, so really what's the problem? Is it rent-a-ride's a problem, or is it the expense of the sport and what it's become the problem? So, I'm divided on that, because maybe the problem isn't rent-a-rides. Maybe the problem is we need to fix some things in the sport to make it more affordable so there's more owners, and that's not done as frequently.
Yeah. And I think that's going to be a very difficult
chore. The cat's out of the bag. You're not going to scale back motors now. That's not going to happen. No. Tire deals aren't going away.
We can only hope the Ford's like a $30,000 motor, right?
Right.
By the way,
Tony Stewart.
That was run this weekend.
Yep. Tony Stewart did run the Ford.
First time it was in competition, I guess.
Well, I can't wait till he gets to PA this week.
Be interesting.
That's going to wrap up segment 3, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast. We'll be back in segment 4 with our picks and a look ahead. Stay tuned. Check out SprintCarUnlimited.com for sprint car news from around the country. One click away every day. The website features breaking news, results, features, rankings, a weekly podcast, and much more from the world of sprint car racing. The off-season, the news doesn't stop there. We also cover breaking news with silly season and also have news from the Australian Summer Series. Yearly subscription is $50, 6 months is $35, 1 month is $8. If you purchase a yearly subscription, you get a free t-shirt. We also have giveaways for our members, the Month of Money contest, and much more. Check out SprintCarUnlimited.com today. Welcome back to segment 4, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Energy Gum. Ryan, this is the segment I want to skip because that's a common theme this year.
Yeah, this last segment's been pretty rough on you.
It has been, but I'm embracing it now. Because I figure I'm going to catch you in one category, so I only owe you 2 dinners. So I'm going to catch you in top 5s. So
really?
Yes. It's the only one I'm close in.
All right.
So we've had 147 races. You lead 33-22 in wins because you got shitty over the weekend again. 90-85 in top 5s. That's where I'm closer. I picked another one up this weekend. Top 10s, 125-113. I have no chance of winning that.
No, because that's
Top
hard to
10.
make up. Like, I got to implode for that.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah.
And this one's dicey.
This one's probably easier than the top 10.
Yeah,
I'll be
you're
honest
plus
with
150.
Yeah, because if I get a few train wrecks, you can catch up quick.
Yeah, well. Yeah,
I mean, it would take 6 races.
Yeah, I mean, if not more. 10.
of me finishing last to do it, but hey.
Well, we're going to jump in. All-Star Circuit of Champions coming to Pennsylvania. It's a big swing every year. I've grown to really appreciate this swing. And really, we see a lot of the All-Stars coming up because we're going to have this 4 races. They start at Grandview, Williams Grove for the Jack Gun, which is Twin 20s, go to Lincoln and Bass Motor Speedway. And then in 2 weeks, they come back for the Tuscarora 50.
Some of them might not leave.
Yeah, I mean, well, no, they'll leave.
Is there races in between?
Yeah, there's races in between. And then they come back a couple weeks after that for the Dirt Classic. Mm-hmm. So we see a lot of the All-Star Circuit of Champions. Could see some of them, obviously, for the Williams Grove National Open.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a nice little swing. And I've grown to, when you come back from Knoxville, I'm kind of like, you
need a recharger. And
and this is it.
This is it, yeah.
I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah. So Grandview, Williams Grove, Twin 20s, Lincoln, Bass Motor Speedway. We got a point battle with the All-Stars. Even though I thought Dale would be good this year, and he's lived up to that, I didn't know if this time of year if he'd be leading the points.
No, it's. I'll be honest with you. It's a shocker. It's a shocker to me.
I mean, it's 10
It
points.
shouldn't shock me because Dale is.
Yeah.
The All-Stars is Dale's home. Honestly, it's where he's comfortable and just confident, and look at him.
Danny Dietrich's confident too. He's beaten the All-Stars twice in New York. He's going to
beat him again here some point this week.
Ooh, look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you. Well, Lance DeWeese, as of now, from what we know, Williams Grove.
Yep, and they'll go from there.
I'll be shocked if they
can't believe I let you in on that info. Man.
Well, you knew he was going to Williams Grove.
Well, yeah.
But I don't think he goes to Lincoln.
No. I think you'll see him at BAPS.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
I'd be shocked if he's not at BAPS.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that car goes pretty darn good here.
I think a guy in here, too, we got to watch is Brock Zerfoss. He's shown some speed at times, finished second at Plymouth. I think since they switched to Maxims, I think they're a team to watch.
Yeah.
Have some speed.
I think he's got a comfort zone there, and he looks pretty good there.
About Corey Eliason, he's finished in the top 5 at Lincoln this year and BAPS.
He's won a race at BAPS.
So, look, I mean, it can happen. I don't think it's a slam dunk that the locals sweep.
No.
No,
I think
the big one's Williams Grove.
Yeah, the big one's
they've
Williams
never
Grove,
won
yeah,
there.
yeah.
The All-Stars have never won there.
I think Williams Grove's the big one, but I think they'll be safe at the Grove again.
Well, that's kind of a weird format. You run the first one, that's points race. I'm not sure. I don't know if they're changing the format. Last year, they inverted everybody in a lead lap. I hate it. Why do
we need 2 races? Lernerville figured it out. Why do you need 2 races? Just run 30 laps and
8,000 to win instead of 2.
Yeah.
You know,
or 7,500 and spread that. Yeah, I don't.
Well, I
don't care.
I like the concept of twin 20s, but
No, I don't.
because
I never did.
Well,
Triple 20s, that's even worse.
no, triple 20s is terrible.
No, just let's race 1 race and let's go.
Well, I know you're looking at it from a different standpoint, obviously,
Okay.
in the pit area. I grew up on twin 20s. I like them. Now, also though, when
Do you remember the 420s at Penn National then, huh?
I do.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't you like those either?
They were okay because I was like waiting for someone to win all 4 of them.
And you're still waiting.
That ain't gonna happen.
I like the twin 20s, but when I say that, that's back when Doug Wolfgang was in here and you could pass. It was you come from 17.
Yeah,
it was a different time. So now I get it. To me, if you're going to do that, pull an 8, 10, or 12 on the inversion. Nothing more.
Yeah.
Don't
the whole
field thing's stupid.
Yeah.
I just,
Lernerville did that, and I think they've learned, and
Yeah.
it's 1 race now. Do we see, like last year Kyle Larson was in, do we see a Kyle Larson come in this week? I don't even know where Cup is this week.
with their schedule changing, I am not sure. I'll be surprised if you see Kyle Larson this week. So, but you never know. Grandview on Thursday night. I pick first.
Pick first.
And this is... I'm gonna take Aaron Reitzel. It'll be
Okay, I'm gonna take Dietrich.
okay. That's solid.
Yep.
Williams Grove. We're only picking the first one because I'm not messing around with
the
any
second
kind of
one's-
format stuff.
The second one's forget that.
So you
The second one doesn't exist.
Go ahead.
Don't even count it as a win. The second one.
No, you gotta count it.
It honestly, it depends on the invert. If you're doing a full
Yeah,
lap
it's
cart
just-
now, forget that.
Go
Williams
ahead.
Grove.
Yeah, come on. Go ahead. I know who you're
What?
taking.
You want me to take Lance?
I know you. That's who you're taking.
All right, I'll take. Honestly, I only took Lance so you couldn't. Because I know you would take him. It's the same thing. It's the same reason you took Reitzel, so I couldn't.
No, because Grandview.
I'm gonna have to have a talk with Lance this week. I'm gonna call him before Friday.
Oh, then he's gonna go out and whip him.
I hope so.
I hope he wins the second one.
That would kill
Because that's whoever I
me. Hey,
pick's
that's
gonna
fine
win
as
the
long as he
second
wins the first one.
Wow, Grove. Tell you what, Freddie looked good last week.
Yeah, him and Dietrich both. They couldn't get
came
through their
through.
heat, so they both had to pass a lot of cars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's tough. I'm gonna.
You got
one of
to.
those two.
I also got to consider the All-Star format because
It's
Freddie
so
hasn't been timing great,
right.
and that might fit into the wheelhouse there. Like, you know what I mean? That might.
I'm gonna go with Freddie.
You're going with Freddie.
I'm going with Freddie,
Okay.
and then Lincoln.
You got first one there, huh?
Yeah, but that's. I don't know what you do there. I'm gonna take Dietrich. Look good there.
Jerk.
I'm a jerk. I'm down 150. I could be a jerk. Here, Lance DeWeese calling.
Is it Lance?
No.
Let's see if he's running Lincoln because I don't know who to pick.
No.
He took my guy. Man, if I had to base it off this past weekend, I don't know what I'd do. Can an all-star pull through?
Oh, he can.
All right. It's a tight point battle. He's going to start finishing races. Aaron Reitzel I'm taking.
A shocker there.
Yep. I was told not to take him whenever he won, so it's the first one I got.
Actually, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
On Sunday, Babs Motor Speedway, here's your wild card.
Yeah.
And you're up first. This is an all-star can win this.
No. Dietrich's going to win this.
Oh, I was hoping you'd get away. I was hoping you wouldn't
I'll be honest with you. I truly believe even if Lance shows up, I
Killing
think
me.
Dietrich's still the car to beat.
Oh, you're killing me. I was hoping you'd just forget about him.
Yeah, I'm going to forget.
Well,
There's a reason I'm winning this whole damn thing.
yeah, it's because my guys drop
No,
out.
it's because I don't forget shit.
Tony Stewart won this last year.
He did.
And he
He was awesome.
was unbelievable.
Yes,
in that
right
race.
through the middle. I was like, man, how'd they do that?
Brock's been fast there. Boy, it's that format too. That's what's killing me. I just don't know what to do with it. Can't take
Greg
Lance.
Wilson, it is.
No, can't take Lance because I don't know if he's going to be there.
Well, you can take him.
Oh, if he's not there, I got another pick.
You got to take another pick. Yeah.
I mean, give me Eliason.
Okay.
World of Outlaws. 2 races. They got Black Hills Speedway, $20,000 to win, and then Big Sky Speedway. They're heading out to the Northwest. Again, big point battle. Shots leads sweep by 24. You know, this is where Donnie starts to. But heading to California, Brad, and heading out there, you know, I think Brad can do some damage. Donnie's not always great on the West Coast. Sheldon Hahnschul's been consistent.
He has been one of the cars on the uptick right now.
I think
Absolutely
he looks really good. So he could win. You know, I don't know. I mean, so Darren Pittman's looked decent lately. You know, everything from Knoxville. I mean, really, we're still on that Knoxville hangover a little bit because they've only had one race, River Cities.
Yep.
So I'm going to jump in. I pick first.
Yep.
Black Hills, I'm taking Darren Pittman.
Whoa. DP. Well, I'm going with Donnie Schatz.
All right. Fair enough. Big Sky Speedway.
I'm going with Donnie Schatz.
Going with the sweet
Yeah.
Big Sky. I'm going to take David Gravel.
I knew it. I put it down for the wrong spot. I'll just change it to a G. Yeah.
Now it comes.
Train wreck
USAC
right
SmackDown, one of their biggest weekends of the year. 4 races. The first race is a non-points race. Then they have, it's kind of a unique format. You get points for Thursday and Friday. Like I said, Wednesday's kind of almost like a tune-up special event. And then Saturday, the top 8 in points from the first 2 nights do King of the Hill style format. And to determine the top 8 spots, the winner gets $10,000. Winners have been Justin Grant a year ago. It was rained out, had to run it in September. Tyler Courtney won it in 2017. 2016 was Kevin Thomas. Dave Darlin won it 13, 14, 15. Brian Clausen in 2012. This is one you pay attention to. I think, again, it's like, I don't want to say it's
event.
a Super Bowl because at the end of the year, but it's close. I mean, this is a big one. It's at Kokomo.
Awesome racetrack.
It's going to be an awesome race. So, you're up first on that.
No, I think you are, because I took shots and you took gravel. So that means you're up first.
I wanted you to have to pick. I wanted you to have the field in front of you.
Go ahead. I know what route I'm taking. Go ahead.
Dave Darlin? Well, the non-qualifiers, I'm going to take.
Wait a minute, non-qualifier?
Well, it's not a points race. So the Wednesday tune-up
show, yeah.
Yeah, Wednesday tune-up show. Courtney.
Tyler Courtney. Brady Bacon. It's been fast lately.
Been fast. You're up Wednesday or on a Thursday.
Tyler Courtney.
Of course. Have some different winners though lately. I remember the speed like Shane Cottle and those guys.
Some diversity there.
Yeah. It's wide open.
I just don't know who's going to win when, so.
Well, and that's
the tough part.
It's now Thursday. Who'd you take?
I took Courtney.
Leary ran well there, but he dropped back, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, because that was the last race of Speed Week, wasn't it?
Yeah. Give me Leary.
CJ. Okay. You're first. Friday night.
Bacon.
Brady Bacon. Give me Courtney.
You're just going to take good.
Give me Courtney.
Oh, all the way. Wow. Nobody jumping on Chris Windham at all.
No, I rode Chris Windham pretty hard in the first half of Speed Week.
And you took it on the chin a little bit?
I feel like there's about 6 guys who legitimately legitimately can win. Like the
Right.
Of course you have your surprises. Like what's his name? You said
Cottle.
You know what I mean? Like he was awesome. Like them guys would get their car perfect around the bottom and no one's there and no one's on the bottom and they just drive through the field. But I mean, I feel like there's like about 6 guys in USAC that you got to pick from, and you just never know which one's going to win when.
Bacon has won every big race.
He has.
And I'm going to take him to win
Brady
this one.
Bacon.
I'm going to take Bacon to win this one.
Yep.
That's going to wrap up this edition of the SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Energy Gum. Stay tuned to SprintCarUnlimited.com for all your racing needs, all your sprint car needs, and we'll be back next week. Stay tuned.